Well, friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today is the very day that we're bringing to a close on these episodes. Of course, not the podcast, but this series. We've been talking about 10 ways to know that you are not deploying your God-given potential. We've done 9 ways so far, and today is the penultimate. Today is the final day, not the penultimate. That was yesterday. But today is the final day that we're going to discuss this about potential. Probably in another time, another place, another season, we're going to look at potential from a totally different angle. But the angle that we're attacking it at this moment in time is how to know you are not deploying your God-given potential. Every one of us has potential. There is nobody who doesn't have it. So let us listen in even as we close in today. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Number 1, you know that you are not deploying your God-given potential if you are not deploying your purpose, because purpose and potential are connected to the hip. Your potential indicates where your purpose is. So when you're doing your purpose, invariably you're using your potential to do it. So if you're not living on purpose, if you're not deploying your purpose, then your potential is somehow dormant. Chances are that it is dormant. Number 2, you know you are not deploying a God-given potential when you are just living and focused on survival. That means that the only thing that you want to do is to make a living, earn a living, just for yourself, live for yourself, pay your bills and build your own house and so on, which doesn't have a problem. But if you're going to use your potential, the thing that you need to focus on is transformation. Transforming your world, maybe just transforming one person, or just creating something positive, something greater than life, greater than you, greater than serving you. It's basically living to serve others. That's number 2. Number 3, you know you are not deploying your God-given potential when you are not introspecting. Introspecting is to sit back and review your life. Jim Rohn said that a life not reviewed is not worth living. You review your life, you review your days, you review your hours to see what have you done that is productive, what have you done that has changed, what have you improved, what have you started, did you do what you promised you're going to do? If you didn't, chances are that your potential is not being utilized. Number 4, you know that you're not utilizing your God-given potential when you think that you don't have gifts or talents, because you cannot write, you cannot kick a ball, you cannot slam dunk, you cannot sing, you cannot speak. You think that you don't have potential and you don't have gifts and you don't have talents, and that's why they remain dormant. They are not just those prominent ones. There are others in there. Probably you know how to you know how to speak to people nicely and calm them down. Maybe you know how to counsel people. There's a time I watched a series where there was a guy who was a counselor. He counseled very many guys before they noticed that he didn't even have a certificate, a counseling certificate, and he hadn't gone to school to study that particular subject. That's potential. And I know it was acting, but very many people in life today who have that potential, those gifts and those talents, but they are not prominent. Right. The number 5 reason as to the fifth way you can know that you are not deploying your God-given potential is when you are working, yes, but you're not utilizing the most of your potential in your main work. That's a biggie. That's a very big one. How many of us have gone to school and they have done things that we never wanted to do in the first place, and now we are working in places where the work we do is not connected to our potential at all, right? Number 6, you know you're not utilizing your God-given potential when you're fitting in instead of standing out. I don't need to explain that. Number 7, you know you're not utilizing God-given potential when you're afraid. You're succumbing to fear. Fear debilitates, paralyzes you, and therefore you cannot move an inch. Number 8, talked about this. You know you're not using a God-given potential when you are procrastinating. I don't need to explain that. And then number 9, we talked about this yesterday, very powerful. You know you're not utilizing God-given potential when you are shirking responsibilities, especially those responsibilities that come to you. You observe and you see things from your passion and you catch yourself saying, somebody needs to do this, somebody needs to do something about this. That somebody is you. Chances are, anyway. Today, let us close this. Number 10, you know you are not deploying a God-given potential when you are failing to dare. One of my favorite quotes by Teddy Roosevelt. Far much better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in the great twilight that neither knows victory nor defeat. That great twilight that neither knows victory nor defeat is the apt description of failing to dare and failing to deploy our God-given potential. There is no potential excavation in the twilight. There is no excavation of potential in the average, in the normal, in the ordinary. However, notice that in potential excavation, there are 2 possibilities. There is the possibility for victory, and then there is the possibility for defeat. In there, a binary of options. And that's why I love potential. It is not in winning alone that potential is excavated. Even in failing, even in losing. The guy who has thrown himself in the ring, the other day we watched Israel Adesanya coming on into martial arts, kickboxing and all that stuff and clobbering someone. But you know what? I heard his speech. He thanked his opponent. Why? Because this was a return leg. It was a return match. He thanked his opponent for thumping him the first time out last time. He was defeated last time out. And he said, thank you so much for beating me, because that beating sent me out there to excavate my potential and I worked on myself. That's the beauty of potential. It is not only excavated in winning. It is also excavated in losing. Losing as you're trying. You are much better than the guy who is out there not attempting, not trying. The not trying doesn't help you excavate the potential. The trying and the failing does. So failure is better than not trying. I love potential. It is not in winning alone that potential is excavated, but the fact that you are in the game, whether you win or lose, you are potentially excavating that potential inside of you. You are activating it. This cannot be said of the casual observer who is afraid to take risks and to dare to do a mighty thing. To dare mighty things is to dig deep into your potential. All the while, 100% of the time, when you're daring, you are digging into your potential. And I was watching Kung Fu Panda. I know you know that animation. And the master said something profound to the dragon warrior. He said, if only you do what you can do, you will never be more than you are now. Think about that. Doing only what I do is the normal, is what I did yesterday. It's what I'm doing today. But doing the dare forces me to be more than I am today. And that's how I excavate my potential. That's what daring does to your potential. If you looked at your life the past 1 month, the past 2 months, the past 1 week, the past 1 year, and you don't see anywhere where you dare to do something outside of the normal, chances are that your potential lies dormant, unused, unexcavated. However, if you look back and you see failure upon failure, you don't see victory, but you see you going and daring and failing, you are in good company, because in so doing, your potential is being excavated. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to a close of the series. We've been talking about 10 ways you can know, you can tell that you are not fulfilling your God-given potential. Tomorrow we are going to start a new series, and I'm going to tell you what that is tomorrow. But until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.